Civil society organizations are accusing the government of escalating efforts to silence dissent, not just through force, but by failing to act when political freedoms are under attack. Their latest concern is the blocking of a play by students at Butere High School, seen as part of a broader crackdown on critical voices. At the same time, violent disruptions at political meetings are going unpunished, with no arrests and no accountability. Rights groups warn that this pattern of silence and suppression is not only alarming, it could undermine democracy as the 2027 presidential elections approach. Willie Lusige with the details.
Incidents of political violence are on the rise, with hooligans brazenly attacking politicians, convoys and citizens during public gatherings across the country.
Good afternoon, members of the media.
It is on the civil society sounding the alarm, accusing the government of turning a blind eye as chaos become the norm. They say there is a disturbing trend: no arrests, no prosecutions, and no accountability for those believed to be orchestrating and funding these disruptions.
Activation of political goons to disrupt has taken root, and there has been near zero accountability from the government. The targets have mostly been anti-government critics.
And the concern does not stop there. The groups argue that the government's silence is not just negligent, it is dangerous. They warn that as the 2027 presidential election approach, emboldening these criminal networks would destabilize the democratic process and endanger public safety.
As we move towards the 2027 general election, there's a worrying trend of emerging political intolerance and the use of outlawed gangs. Kenyans do need to continue to ask for answers, and we need these institutions to give us the answers and to hold the individuals involved accountable. The country is too politically charged for a country that is to go through an election in 2027.
The civil society groups are voicing outrage over government use of force to suppress artistic freedom. The latest incident involves Butere High School, where authorities reportedly deployed tear gas to prevent the staging of Echoes of War, a play allegedly critical of state policies. Activists are calling this act of a disturbing trend where both creative freedom and free expression are increasingly under attack.
Attack on art and creativity is part of it. Then we wonder what kind of art and sports is going to be taught. We do actually ask the government and those mercenaries of doom to keep off the learning institutions.
What are we telling our generations? That really throw away the Constitution and do as you please, abuse of power, police excessives, there has to be a no, and there has to be a choice to do that which is right for this country. The officers who are involved in that act, there should be serious, thorough investigations, and they must be held culpable. There needs to be, we actually call for their suspension. Whoever was involved in that act should be suspended, then independent investigations and prosecution.
In addition to crackdown on artistic expression, activists are raising alarm over effort by some members of parliament to amend the constitution to reinstate the Constituency Development Fund (CDF), despite a High Court ruling that declared it unconstitutional. These actions, the activists warn, could jeopardize Kenya's constitutional integrity and undermine the rule of law just as the country heads into crucial political seasons.
There should be a way of Kenyans preventing MPs, because now I hear they are going to change the law again to entrench it. We said in the statement, to entrench it in the Constitution. You cannot have a constitutional nullity entrenched into the Constitution.
Willie Lusige, Citizen TV, Nairobi.